What's up, my guys, and welcome back to this god-awful show. I'm your host, Cody, and for those of y'all that are new, what we do here on the show, the Wrestling Report Card, is I take a wrestling show. I break down every match. I give them each a letter grade, and at the end, I tally them some bitches up to get that show its own report card. And tonight, what we gonna do is take that August the 7th edition of Monday Night Raw, you know, the one after SummerSlam. I'm gonna shine it up real nice. Turn that sumbitch sideways, and let's get to grading, my guy. But first, our trivia question of the night. In 2004 at SummerSlam, Randy Orton won the world title, making him the youngest champion in WWE history. But before Randy Orton won the title in 2004, who was the youngest world champion in WWE history up until that point? Let me know your answers in the comments below, but for now, let's get on to the show. Now, it is Monday Night Raw, so you already know we kicking this sumbitch off with a 20-minute segment. I tell you what, we had Cody Rhodes come down to the ring, and for some reason, he just started wanting to run his mouth about Roman Reigns. Like, when are y'all gonna learn? If you run your mouth about Roman Reigns, he's gonna whoop your ass at the pay-per-view, screw you over, make you like it, you're gonna lose, and piss off your entire fan base. So Cody, let's not go down that roads again, alright, bud? Thankfully, Seth Rollins, the Judgment Day, and Sami Zayn came out, putting it into all that nonsense. You got Cody Rhodes out here giving Cody cutters in a three-piece suit. We got tension in the Judgment Day, and by God, in our main event, it will be Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, never thought I'd say that, and Sami Zayn going up against the Judgment Day. Shout out to Sami Zayn's elbow. I'm gonna slap a B on that sumbitch. Now let's get into some action with future title implications on the line. Next up, we have a fatal four-way between Chad Gable, Ricochet, Tommaso Ciampa, and Matt Riddle. These four came out, understood the assignment, and gave us an absolute banger. And in his hometown, Chad Gable, thank you, hit the Chaos Theory, picking up the 1, 2, 3, earning my guy a future Intercontinental title shot against Gunther. My only thing is that a prize or a punishment? Because did you see Drew McIntyre's chest at SummerSlam? Hell no, but Chad Gable, that's a man's man right there. I tell you what, him and Gunther are going to be out there slapping meat. But for that match right there, I'm going to put an A on that sumbitch. Now next up, we got Shinsuke taking on Bronson Reed for the 58th time. I ain't shitting you, I done counted them all. Now I'm not saying this was bad, but this went on way too long, especially for how many times they've gone at it already. After Reed missed on a tsunami, Shinsuke quickly capitalized, hitting back-to-back Kinshasas, and ain't nobody kicking out of that, my guy. Hopefully, we can move on from this now. I'm going to slap a C on that sumbitch. Next, let's go over to the women's division, as you got Becky Lynch coming out, but before she could say too much, out came Zoey Stark, then Shayna Baszler, so Becky Lynch goes, hey, I got an idea. You two assholes came out and interrupted me, so you two should have to fight each other. Adam Pearce, do your thing, and it is official. Shayna Baszler going one-on-one with Zoey Stark. And again, this wasn't a bad match, but it was another long, slow match, and having both of these back-to-back really killed any momentum that this show had going. But Shayna Baszler, black eye and all, still got the 1, 2, 3. And can we get my guy a couple of days off out here? She looking rough. In fact, the only thing looking worse than Shayna Baszler's face was Sami Zayn's elbow backstage. I tell you what. But for that match right there, I'm going to slap a C- on that sumbitch. Now, we got Otis in action as he's taking on Ludwig Kaiser and the rest of Imperium, those cheating bastards. Now, whoever that ref was out there needs to be fired immediately. Hey, Vinnie Mac, come do your thing, alright? It took all three members of Imperium to take Otis down and help Kaiser get the 1, 2, 3. Now, Chad Gable, you know you my guy, but you was a little late getting out there. That's all I'm gonna say. I know you competed and all, but hey, just putting it out there. That match was entertaining though. I tell you what, I'm gonna slap a B- on that sumbitch. Now, next up, we got Miz TV. Now, I don't think the Miz had a guest planned for tonight, but old Mike was out here running his mouth, and backstage, the megastar had enough, and out he came. I'm talking L.A. Knight. Yeah, and this was great. They both were out there talking this shit, and I hope we get a good build up for this. Let's take this all the way to Payback, because you know these two on the mic against each other ain't never gonna miss, and that match should live up to the hype as well. I'm excited for this. I'm gonna slap a B+ on that sumbitch. Now, buckle up and get ready for our big return of the night. But first, I just gotta say this, man. It's time to move on from the Viking Raiders, big dog. That gimmick just ain't cutting it. That's all I'm gonna say. But their opponents tonight are none other than it's a new day. Yes, it is. That's what I'm talking about. They came out. The Viking Raiders tried to play spoiler, but at the end of the day, Kofi Kingston hits the Trouble in Paradise. Xavier Woods follows it up with a giant elbow drop. And just like the good old days, ain't nobody kicking out of that, my guy. I tell you what, good to see the New Day back in action. I'm going to slap a C+ on that sumbitch. But that's enough of the talk, because it's time for the main event. With Sami Zayn's elbow looking dislocated AF, Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes will now team up with Shinsuke Nakamura to take on the Judgment Day. Yes, sir. You got Dirty Dom out there. You know the crowd is loving that. And Cody and Seth aren't the only teammates having issues, as Rhea Ripley, she was literally out there doing everything she could to keep the peace between Finn Balor and Damian Priest, because once again, Dame introduced the briefcase to the match, which ultimately led to Finn's downfall as Seth Rollins super kicked that sumbitch into Finn's grill, and Cody followed that up with the crossroads on Finn, and ain't nobody kicking out of that, my guy. And did it look like Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins were working together? Well, don't worry, you're not going crazy, because they did shake hands after the match. It was beautiful, but leave it to Shinsuke Nakamura to ruin a beautiful moment, because like he did to AJ Styles all those years ago, once again, Shinsuke Nakamura has turned heel, leaving Cody Rhodes and everyone else in shock, sending a message to Seth Rollins, wiping him out before walking off. And I can't wait to see where this goes, what's going to happen leading up to Payback. Stay tuned to find out. But for that main event, I'm going to slap a B+ on that sumbitch. That's how you close out the show. I'm ready for next week. I can't wait to see what happened. So you did your job. My only questions, where's Omos? MVP, you got some splaining to do, unless he's joining Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits over on SmackDown. He is a free agent. Oh, okay, I'll shut up. Well, y'all know what part of the show we've gotten to. We got all the grades in. Now let's take a look at the report card. My guy, after tallying everything up, we came out with a final letter grade of a B-. That's right, an 83%. Honestly, outside of those back-to-back matches, this was a pretty good episode. You separate those or shorten them, you got yourself a mighty fine episodes on your hands, brother. I tell you what. Well, as always, I want to shout out all 12 of you still tuned in. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. That would be great. You could like, comment, tell me how ugly I am. Can't hate on a haircut, though, because my barber is cold. Shout out to Biggs. Also, shout out to OG Bobby Knifehawk on the beat. As always, you know where to find him on SoundCloud. As for me, Cody, I'm signing off. I hope all you BEA beautiful people stay safe out there and have a nice day.